Hey guys, my name is AJ. Welcome back to AJ's Budgeting. On my channel, we talk about things budgeting related as far as finances, where I try to be as transparent as possible without giving away too much information. I also try to be inclusive for all budgets and all ages with my products and things that I offer. And last but not least, I do things like cash stuffings, cash condensings, recaps that are very transparent and truthful, because at the end of the day, like, this is real life and this is not a show. But we are getting back into our Budgeting 101 series with our 4th video, and we're going to be talking about, like, what is a sinking fund? So you guys know from the cash stuffing community, especially on YouTube, you see a lot of videos where they have a multitude of binders, especially like me in the background, that are used for different purposes. So let's go ahead and get into that. So you know how I feel about this paper and making sure you guys can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in some. That way I am sure that you guys can see. So we're gonna be talking about sinking funds. So now the question is, what is a sinking fund? So the basic answer or definition that I can give you guys is, like, a sinking fund is a strategic way to save money by setting aside a little bit of money each month for a specific reason. And this is pretty much how it works. So number one is, like, you need to make sure you have a purpose for the sinking fund. Like, every month you set aside like 5 or let's see, 10, 20 a month for a category. I'm gonna just say task, for a task or a necessity. And it can be for like goals or expenses that you anticipate in the future. And you can gradually build it over time. And then number 2, let's give you some examples. Examples can be new tires for your car, aka car maintenance. Number 2, Christmas, because them gifts be expensive. Number 3, vet bills. Yeah. Number 4, wedding expenses, which in itself is just crazy because weddings are expensive, especially if you have one in California, which I'm thankful we did ours in Michigan, and because we probably would have paid 4 times the price, and I'm so glad that we did it. Another example would be vacations. You know, I love me a good trip. That's number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Home remodels, which you can save for, especially if you're a new homeowner. I do not recommend taking out a HELOC. I don't recommend you taking out a HELOC loan with the equity in your house, because you never know what's going to happen to do remodels. Maybe use that for dire emergencies. And lastly, concert tickets. If you know that you love going to concerts and they be expensive nowadays, just make sure you save for that. Another way that you can use sinking funds is different savings accounts. And the purpose of this is like, while the savings accounts hold your money, the sinking funds are how you organize your savings, basically. So instead of using a single savings account for multiple goals, create separate sinking funds for each purchase. And this can help you keep track of the progress and stay on target. The best one that you can use for this, for your sinking funds, if you want to have everything in one place and create a bucket system, is the Ally Savings. This allows you to have one core savings, but underneath that core savings, it has buckets, which separates your sinking funds into different categories, and you can attach goal amounts to it. I definitely do encourage you guys to look at that system because it definitely works. I do like it for my husband and how we do his budget. So it's useful. Number 4 is different from emergency savings or funds, I should say. So this means it's like, basically a sinking fund is for planned expenses, while an emergency fund is for unexpected situations like a sudden car repair, medical bill. And it is important to keep these separate because you need to avoid dipping into your emergency fund for non-emergencies, which means a good example of emergencies are unexpected car repairs, vet bills, which can be surgery, home repairs, not a home remodel, home repairs, like water pipe breaking, your HVAC system breaking, your septic tank needs to be pumped, some realistic like home repairs. Another thing can be like an unexpected hospital stay, which is why you need a 3 to 6 month worth of bills saved for that reason right there. Make sure you guys can still see. But it's just important to remember that sinking funds can empower you to proactively manage your finances and avoid last minute financial stress, which I can definitely attest to the ones that I have here. My black one is my high priority, and my mint one is my low priority. And the past 3 months, these have saved me so much. It is important for sinking funds to make sure you have categories that make sense to you. Not everyone's going to have the same categories, nor is everyone going to do it the same way that you do. I'm going to give you an example. In my high priority binder, I have car deductible, car maintenance, and car registration. At first, I just had car maintenance. And the reason why I broke this up is because, one, my car deductible is $500. I'm going to have to pull that from somewhere just in case something happens. And right now I don't have that. So it's going to accumulate more credit card debt. I don't need to do that. Car maintenance was always there, and this is for repairs on my car. And then registration, you have to register your car every single year in California, and it varies on the make and model and the year of your car. Like mine is $300. My husband's car is $600. And this needs to be kept in mind. So for me, if I don't see it, I don't remember it. And I'm pretty good about remembering things, but there is things that slip through the crack. Another good example about this is life insurance. I have an annual life insurance policy. I don't pay it monthly anymore because it just doesn't make sense. And I literally forgot about this the entire time I was doing budgeting. And I was like, oh, I have to start saving for this. And then my last example would be toiletries and household. I needed to separate these because sometimes I would use all this household money for toiletries and not for household, and vice versa. So I needed to be separated. And that's like realistically for me how my brain works. My sinking funds and yours have to make sense for you, and it doesn't necessarily have to make sense for anyone else. And you can set it up and split it up however you would like to, because at the end of the day, it's your sinking funds. So let's go ahead and go back through of everything that we talked about today. Make sure you guys can still see, which is good. So basically, the main goal of a sinking fund is just a strategic way to save money, and you're setting aside little amounts each month for a specific purpose. And basically how it works is you need to figure out the purpose, like what are going to be the goals that you anticipate, things that you need to save for. And you can set aside like $5, $10, $20 a month for a task, however you want to do it. And you can also do this weekly also, or bi-weekly. You don't have to do it per month. Some people do weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So it just depends on what works well for your budget. Some of the examples of some of the sinking fund goals would be like new tires, which AKA is car maintenance. Christmas gifts, which is a very big expense for some people. Vet bills, you can anticipate that, especially for the yearly exams and dental cleanings, or groomings and whatnot. Wedding expenses, if you are planning on getting married or you are recently engaged, weddings are expensive, and the more proactive you are with saving, even if it's somewhere in the near future, the better. Even if it's just like a couple bucks every month. Vacations, as I said, I love me a good vacation. So that means I'm going to be saving to go into a trip for Bali over the next year or so, because that's somewhere that I definitely want to go. My husband also wants to go too. Home remodels, if you want to redo your kitchen, add some paint, freshen up the space a little bit. And concert tickets are some good examples. But another way that you need to think about sinking funds is that it's different from savings accounts. Savings accounts are helping you saving money. But if you want to put your sinking funds into a savings account to help you accumulate interest, you can definitely do that. The goal for sinking funds is not to treat it as savings because it's supposed to be spent. But if you're finding that you can basically kind of simmer down on how much money you're putting in that account, especially if it's for like home remodels or whatnot, and you don't need to do anything yet, but you're just saving for an advance, you can definitely use the Ally bucket system, so you can have everything separated, attached to a goal, and accumulate interest while you're still adding to those sinking funds. But it's not a savings account. Sinking funds are meant to be used and not to be saved. And last but not least, is different from emergency funds. Sinking funds are for expected expenses, and emergency funds are for unexpected expenses. Some of the different examples could be car repairs, like how my battery in my car just like randomly died. That's unexpected. Vet bill, surgery, like how my dog had to have like a surgery because he got something stuck in his paw. Home repairs, water pipe breaking, or you need your sewage drained, or septic tank drained, I should say. That hasn't happened to me. But the first two, most definitely. Or you have a hospital stay and like you're out of work for a couple days or weeks, and your FMLA or your short-term or long-term leave of absence hasn't kicked in yet because it takes a while to kick in. This is why it's important to save 3 to 6 months worth of bills or expenses, and you do it based off of the highest month. that you had. Like if your average for your electricity bill is $50, but 1 month it was $100, you're gonna save $100 for your electricity. That's the best way to say that it's better for you to have extra than for you not to have enough. But this pretty much sums up the video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below, what type of sinking funds do you guys have, and which ones do you find yourself pulling out more frequently than others? But if you like this video, go ahead and share it with a friend, guys. And as always, happy savings.